Hello friends, a very good evening to all. Today our class is especially designed for the research scholar or especially who are in the process of submission of the synopsis or who are preparing for the synopsis. So today class is very important for the researchers how to write a synopsis. Today I make you learn how to write a synopsis or how to write an effective synopsis. Because often we got to see the researchers, they could have not write the proper synopsis, but while writing the thesis they would have whole lot of problem. So before avoiding any kind of problem in the later stage of writing a thesis, so writing a effective synopsis is more important than writing a thesis. So it is very important. So today I make you learn systematically step by step how to write a synopsis. So let's get started. Before writing a synopsis, what we need to do? So first we need to focus on it. Before writing a synopsis, one thing you need to do, select the topic or research problem. You need to select the topic before writing a synopsis or before going for the synopsis. You have to select the topic or a research problems. How do we do it? First one, based on your personal interest, always keep in mind, whenever you are selecting any kind of research problem or a topic which must be based on your own personal interest. Of course, not on the supervisor interest. Sometimes it happens actually researchers are not able to find out any problem or any topic. So the supervisor give them the topic, but the later on whenever they would going to write or conduct the research, they have a whole lot of problem. So please make sure that based on your personal interest. Second, your previous experiences. You might have you gone through any problem in your masters or any other domain of the life. Review of literature, again very important. This point is very important. Review of literature, since from the very beginning up till end of your thesis you need to write a review of literature. You need to focus on the review of literature. Review of literature is very important. Throughout the study you need to do the review of literature, or as more you do the review of literature, you do a good thesis or you write a good what I can say in a synopsis. So review of literature is very important. Next, on your current issues, it could be related to a current issue. So before writing the synopsis, one thing you need to do, you need to select the topic or the research problem. Or select means you have some kind of image in your mind before going to write a synopsis. So one thing you need to do. So next, now I make you guide the systematic or step by step how you need to write a good synopsis. First one is introduction about your study. Introduction about your study, that means the background of the study. What kind of study is it? A little background of your study. Development happened. What all of the things has been happened in your area of interest. And then the relationship between the topic of the problem. Now the problem which you have find out, the research problem which you are looking for, what is the relationship of that problem to the particular area? Or the particular study, that may be a big problem, how it is related to the particular area or particular domain of the study. So that you need to locate it and study it very well. What are the variables you are supposed to do the study? So these all are the things need to be right in the first step, which is the introduction about your study. Next, once you gone through, as I said, you review of literature is like a going on process throughout your study. So now the second things, now you do the review of literature. The review of literature means whatever the studies has been conducted before you're going to do it. So whatever the study, it could be the primary sources, it could be related to the secondary sources and the pilot study, or maybe you have done the pilot study. So that's how you can conduct the review of literature. A review of literature, whenever you are doing any kind of review, any kind of literature review, so two things keep in mind. Always go for the authentic sources, like it could be the good publications. For the library, it could be the good books. So go for the good research papers. So always go for the authentic sources, not like you go for the Wikipedia or any other sources. So next, never go without proper citation and references. So I suggest you, whenever you are writing any kind of review of literature or you are reading any book or you are reading any newspaper, any research paper, so that time itself you write the citation of the that particular paper and the reference, so that in later on you would not have any problem. So never go without any kind of citation or references. Write the citations and references. One more thing here I would like to mention, whenever you are writing a review of literature, go with the chronological order. That means what happened first, then second and third. So second step in a synopsis writing is a review of literature. Go with the extensive review of literature. Next, third, once you've done the review of literature, then go for the problem statement. Now you can write about write about your problem statement or the topic on which you are going to conduct a study or the research. It must be clearly defined. List out the associate factor, whatever the other associate factors related to your problem, related to your research, you need to mention it. Next, discuss the pattern of the problem. What kind of pattern of the problem, like the severity of the problem, how it has growing up in the past few years. Show the pattern of the problem, list out the associate factors, which later on it could be converted into the variable also, and clearly define the problem. So the examiner or the reviewer can get to see what exactly is the problem. Next, once you have done the review of literature, of course you get to have the research gap. Now you need to find out the research gap. What is the research gap? On the basis of review of literature, once you've gone through the review of literature, then you need to find out what is the research gap. Research gap, that means make clearly differentiation between the what has been done and what you are supposed to do. Right, what are the study? Suppose a study already has been conducted, that means you are not going to do anything new. So the study, suppose you are working on a sustainable tourism development, so maybe the study can be conducted on the one portion of the one indicator of the sustainability or other portion of the sustainability. So what exactly has been done and what you are doing new. So find out the research gap. Next, post after the research gap, or the research gap is the only which guide you to form a research questions. Design the well-defined research questions based on your research gap. So as I said, you to follow the process properly, or else you won't have a problem, or else you will have a problem. Design the well-defined research questions based on the research gap. Next, cover all the associate factors and variables. In research question, do cover all the factors, all the variables, and formulate a proper research questions in a fifth point of the synopsis. Next, research objectives. Research objectives are purely based on the research questions. Suppose I have a 20 research questions. In all the 20 research questions, I need to compile them in a 5 to 6 or 4 to 5, whatever the appropriate research questions. We need to compile them. Formulate a limited number of research objectives, very important. Sometimes the student or scholar do like a 10 objective. So it create a whole lot of problem later on. So create a maximum 5 to 6 or whatever the related objectives you have. Formulate a limited number of the research objectives based on your research questions. It should be based on your research question. Cover all the variables and sub variables of your study. Try keep in mind you are not supposed to left any variables. Must be well defined and clearly understandable. If I can read out your objective, I can understand something. So make a clearly defined objectives. Now again, very important, or I can say most important things in the research hypothesis. Strictly based on the research objective. Sometime me also I get to see many research the thesis actually, or many the synopsis where the objectives are denoting the different things and there is no relation with the hypothesis are quite different. So please make sure the hypothesis must be depend on the objective, strictly based on the research objectives. It could be null or alternative based on your choice. It could be the alternative or null form. It must reflect the relationship among the study variable. Whenever you are writing a objective or the hypothesis, there must be a relationship between the variables so that I can understand what is the statistic I can use for that. Easily identifiable of the dependent and independent variable. By seeing your hypothesis, I can understand which is the dependent variable, which is the independent variable. Never formulate a simple statement. Sometimes student write a simple statement. So never form a simple statement. Go for the null or alternative hypothesis so that one who can do the analysis can understand what is the statistical tool I can use for that. Next, research, design and methodology. Now post after the research hypothesis, now based on the studied variables, now you can go for the research design and methodology. Clearly a brief description of the research design and methodology, like a universe, which is the universe, then the population out of the universe. Thereafter you write a research and sample design. Based on the research and sample design, you get to have a sample size. Then how you're collecting the sample, the data collection technique. What are the data collection technique you use? Like a questionnaire, focus group interview, it could be the schedule, it could be the direct interview. So what are the techniques you're using? Along with that, you give the detail about the tool or questionnaire, how you're collecting it. So the detail about the tool and questionnaires. Next, thereafter, once you collected the data, then give the description of the descriptive and inferential statistics. What all are the tentative? It could be the tentative, descriptive and inferential statistic you are using for conducting research. So research, design, and methodology. Next, 9. What are the significance of a study? 9 point, you write a significance of the study. What are the significance of the study? It could be clearly related to the how it helped to the local communities. If you're conducting, how it helping the academics, like in the research and development, in the academics, on the teaching, how it could be helped, how it helped to the government or any other trade personnel and other associate body and people. The overall, it could be in a how they are helping, how you study after completing your study, how it help to the local people, the government, trade personnel, or other associate body of the people. It could be useful to the people after all. Next, the chapterization scheme, very important. While writing the chapterization scheme, do write a topics and subtopic also. So in a future, when you are writing the chapters, you won't face any problem while writing which subtopic I need to choose or not. So initially, you write all the chapters or subtopic. Generally, we take a 5 chapters in the research, but sometimes it depends on the supervisor. It can change also, but go for the sequence itself. First one is an introduction, second one is a review of literature, third one is a research design and methodology, fourth one is a data analysis and interpretation. Sometimes the scholar do add one more topic, one more chapter in between the research design and methodology before the data analysis. So it can be usable, you can use it. Last one is the finding, conclusion, discussion and recommendations. So mostly we have 5 chapters. One is introduction, review of literature, research design and methodology, data analysis, interpretation, finding, conclusion, discussion, recommendation. So these are the 10 steps for writing a effective synopsis. Other than that, what you need to do, thereafter you go for the write the proper references in a proper format with APA, American Psychological Association. Write a correct format of the references. Once you've done the references, then once check with it, either you left any citations which you have not write the references. Whatever the citations you have given in the synopsis, you must be write the references for that. Thereafter, one more important things, you go for the plagiarism. Again, very important things, check your plagiarism. It could be below 10. Whether you are checking for the Turnitin is the best method to check the plagiarism. So go for the plagiarism. Sometime never do the mistake of like a student don't checking any kind of plagiarism. So later on they are copying or pasting. So do make a habit in the initially, that means to avoid the plagiarism, any kind of plagiarism. So that's how we completed the how to write a synopsis. So if you again have any problem related to the synopsis writing or any other things related to the thesis, you can contact me on the email ID tiwari.sunil10@outlook.com. So I hope it made you clear how to write a effective synopsis in a sequential manner, in a correct format. Starting from the introduction, I take a little recap. It start from here, the introduction about your study, then the review of literature, then the problem statement, research gap, research questions, all are related to the systematic in a chronological order. Then the research objectives, research hypotheses, research design and methodology, significance of the study, chapterization. As I told you, write all the chapters and subtopics also under the chapter. So you can make user fix with these topics and subtopics. Then write the proper references in APA format and check the plagiarism, and make sure that you are attaching the report of the plagiarism also in a synopsis. So thank you so much.